What's up, fellow traders? Black Coffee Trader here on Friday afternoon, July the 11th, doing my daily recap. Had a very good day today, not because of the P&L. P&L is basically break even. We made 12 bucks and 20 bucks per account. But I had a really good day today. The key is the trades, how I manage the trades, the executions, and what I learned. And that's really the big takeaway for today. So let's just dive in. I'm going to just talk about the trades first. I took 3 trades today, and the biggest disappointment is the fact that I did not hold on to this trade like I really wanted to. And I was in Nutty's stream this morning, and I was telling chat, I'm not moving my stop. I'm not moving my stop. And I didn't move my stop until I had 3 contracts off on this trade, and then I moved my stop, got taken out. This is a good trade. This is very much an okay trade. But the big but is, if I would have held this trade with my stop loss at break even after, having 1 contract left, typically what I do is once I'm at 1 contract left on a move, I will go to break even. And that is typically my rule. I broke it today, and it's so often the case. I got stopped out, and then the move continued. My original target was on this Russell trade was at 22.44. And here, let me just give you the setup here. This was the play today. So in my morning trade plan, I had said if we get a break and retest below the yesterday's low of day, this blue line is the prior day low, which is also very clear. You can see how we had previous resistance turn support, very clean support. Like this is just super clean. And I was looking for a retest of that to short it. And that's what happened. And I had my first 2 profit targets. Basically, I was trying to get out the first 3 until we get to the overnight low. This light blue line is the overnight low. I was like, let's take the first 3 off at between entry and overnight low. And then my last target was set right here at the 44s. Because of this level right here. That's where I wanted my last target. Again, an aggressive play is looking for a big flush to the next level, so to speak, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to get to the most recent previous low that was below this level, which was right here. That was my target at 44. Well, had I just held at end of day, I could have closed at almost 44. So on that last contract, I closed it for 25 bucks in profit. I could have closed that for, let me do some quick math here. My entry was around the 58s. I closed it around 53 for 5. So if I would have closed it at 4, I could have gotten nearly another 25 bucks out of the trade, which is not a big, it's not big. Like, it's not like I would have, made 300 bucks. But the difference is that the point here is I had the plan. The plan was solid. The plan was great. The setup was there. I took the setup. I nearly got stopped out after the first 2 contracts. I got a great lesson today in holding, and trusting my analysis. I had it right. And then I succumbed to this intraday pressure, I guess, and just chickened out and closed the trade. I closed it for profit, 100 bucks, I think, on the trade, which is nice. Very low risk. Good trade. I think 1.2 hour trade. So that's great. But again, had I just left the stop alone, we would have gotten out with nearly, our full target. Heck, I could have closed it right here for nearly my full profit target. So that's the big lesson for me today. And that's honestly, the win is the fact that I actually held through all this. I held through this, didn't get stopped out. My stop was right here. When I entered this trade, I said, I'm putting my stop right above these highs that had held, or that was, occurring in the morning session, the pre-market. I could have went here, but I didn't feel like that was appropriate because I was really shorting the break. I was shorting this break and retest of the overnight low. Very clean. If you look at the entry here, matter of fact, I'll just show it to you in TradeZella. It's a little bit cleaner in TradeZella, but if you look at the entry, a very clean setup, nice rake and retest short, had it, and I held through this, and I was like within a couple ticks of being stopped out here, and then I got the 3rd contract filled, And then we had these, this up, down chop. My stop here at break even got tested 1, 2, 3 times, and we had this flush to the downside, and we started to consolidate here. And I was like, man, if this thing goes back up, it's probably going to take me out. So I decided to move my stop down here to protect myself, quote unquote, protect myself. I.e. get $20 if it stops me. Stupid. I'm a little salty about it. You can understand. But I was thinking, well, we're retesting kind of this area right here. We're retesting this. I'm just going to put my stop above that, and then I'll protect myself, and it'll probably flush down. What does it do? The market taught me a very clean lesson. Look at that. Almost right to the tick, like one tick past my stop, take me out, and then flush down. That was a little bit hard to swallow. We then managed to do this and just, chopped around. Even this one here, this move in the afternoon session, it did not hit my stop. My stop would have been right there. And I would have been completely fine getting stopped out. I should have been fine getting stopped out. And then we finally got the flush. So that's the lesson, the painful lesson. I mean, it was a good day. I liked the win for me is the fact that I held through this. I didn't succumb to the pressure other than this last contract. So I hope that makes sense. The other 2 trades I took were on the Dow Jones, and those were both break and retests of this overnight low, and both of those did not hold. Now, here again is the way that this strategy works and how I trade the best. I'm looking for the break and retest. Again, I was looking at this area on the big picture. We had previous support, turned to resistance. We had flipped back above it, and I was looking for a break and retest short or long, but obviously the short was what was coming into play. We got that set up right here. Soon after the open, we had a big move up, wick down, which is indicative of a move to the downside, had another wick, and I enter short. Great entry. Boom, boom. First 2 targets off. I took the first 2 before the overnight low, and my stop was sitting right here above this high. Now, in hindsight, maybe I should have had my stop up here. But again, at the end of the day, we really didn't go anywhere. The Dow Jones really just didn't go anywhere. Completely sideways, choppy day. So I'm okay with my decision. The decision was I'm kind of shorting both of these areas. You can see on the big picture here, I was shorting really this range from about the 44.660s to the 44.620s. I was shorting a retest of that. So first 2 targets off. Held through it, got stopped out, like a $30-some loss. Great loss. I re-entered this break and retest here, which was a little bit risky because we were kind of in a chop session. Took two contracts off and then got stopped out again, almost to the tick, which was a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. I would have got stopped out anyway later on. So that was like a $20 loss. These are okay losses. These little wins pay for this loss so that it keeps this loss to a minimum, and it allows me to take the shot. And if I lose, I lose. I don't lose much. So again, my usual self is when I take a couple off, I'm quickly moving to break even, and I can't do that. I'm glad I had this happen today, and I'm glad I took these losses and allowed myself to let my stop get hit. To be really real with you, one of the things I struggle with is taking a loss. I hate losing. I hate losing, and it's part of trading. I mean, if you're a good trader, you're right 55% of the time. So there's going to be 45% of the time we're going to be losing. And today I was only right 33% of the time, and I still made money a little bit, but I made money. So I have to be okay with that. And this was just hey, my target is set. I've got everything set up. My stop's in place, and if it gets hit, it gets hit. And it was really, honestly, I expended a lot less mental capital today than I usually do. And I'm really getting back to the roots of how I've traded the best. And this was just another lesson in that. So on this specific trade, just to give you an idea of what I was looking for, my target was set right here. I think I was targeting the low of day, and then my third one was right in here. So I wanted to get this full move. It just didn't happen. I felt like it could have been there. So that's where my targets were set. Only got the first 2, which was fine. So those were the losses. And The win was on the Russell, and again, I left some on the table. I'm more sad about the fact that I didn't execute to the best of my abilities. That's the issue. Yes, it was a winning trade, but that was my issue. So that's where we're at. But again, it's green. It's a little bit of green, but green is green. This funded Tradeify account got a little bit of wins on it. A couple days here, nothing crazy, but a couple $100 in profit is better than a couple $100 in losses. So that's a win. Let's jump to TradeZella. Let's kind of dive into that. So here's today, $32, 33% win rate, but the difference is I had a 2.5 average win to loss. So average win was $80, the loss was 31. I had one winning trade for 80, a couple losses, averaged $30, and so we were skewed heavily with a small loss, bigger wins, hence having a win with 33%. And we have a 4-day green streak, which is nice. Love that little streak. It's not big, but hey, it's a green streak. That's a win. And we've had one red day in the first 7 trading days of the month, and I like that. We're green on the month, so that's a big win for me. Let's look at the monthly stats. I think that is more important than the daily. Where are we going for the month? For the month now, we're up 400, 66% win rate, and a 0.75 win to loss. Again, I've only had a few losses, and that one big one is really skewing us. So we're averaging $87 per loss, 65 per win. I'm hopeful that by the end of the month, we can have this, a lot better, where it's a +1. So, but obviously, if we're going to be negative here, we have to be positive here in order for this to continue to be a win. So that's what we're looking for. And obviously, my daily win rate is pretty high. So hopefully we can continue that and march along with one more green. There's probably going to be some red somewhere, but that's okay. We want to keep that to a minimum. And again, work on this information up here and become better at it. So that's that. I want to show you also, watch now here, after market here, it's about, what, 418. This thing's probably going to flush down, hit my original target at the 44s, but oh well. I have to show you my evals just because there's a little bit of a story. So today we're up about 400 per account, and I really made that by shorting the NASDAQ. I shorted this high, I shorted this high. I took a short right here. So really just a couple of shorts. And this morning at the open, I took a long. I felt pretty strong that this was moving to the upside at the open. Took a little long trade with the evals, and anyway, made some money there today. But it's not the fact that I made $400 today per account that matters. What matters is a couple days ago, I was trading very poorly. I was trading my evals during the day, taking some stupid trades, being very aggressive, and I almost blew them. I think I had about 1,800 in losses per account, and it was, I forget what day it was, but earlier this week. And the thing of note is this take profit account. This account was down under $150 in drawdown. Like it was pretty much a dead account. And we have it back to 1,100 in drawdown. So we're a long way from having these accounts passed, but at least we got our drawdown back. They were all between 300 and this take profit, which was at 150. They were all that close to being blown, but we've got them back. So that's a win. So the last couple of days have been pretty nice. Just nothing huge, but just a couple steady little days of several $100, and that builds them back up. So hopefully I can just stay on the right track with these evals, get them passed, and then we have a nice little bunch of funded accounts again. And the other thing too that's really important is today I was trading, the retest of these levels. I was just shorting this, and I should have shorted it probably with my funded accounts. I probably could have made some money, but I was just not confident. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna short the NASDAQ with my evals if we get to these levels, and I did, and it worked out. But the one thing I've noticed is, just like a couple days ago when I had the huge red day with these accounts, trading evals sucks because you push it sometimes and you take stupid trades, and it starts to, you develop poor, bad habits by YOLOing evals. So the win for me is if I always trade them with my funded account. So any trades I take on the funded account, I'm also trading on an eval, and that's a win. But then again, really needing to stick to my strategy, which is break and retest, key level trading, shorting these key levels or longing key levels, whatever it is. And I did that today very well, and I made some money on it. So that's good, and that's how I build that muscle. But anyway, just wanted to share that. Not that, I mean, these things aren't anywhere near close past, and I might lose them, but whatever. It's kind of interesting how I almost blew them and actually have them back. It's kind of a big mental win, to be honest with you. So Anyway, that's a wrap for today. It's a wrap for the week. I'm happy with the green. Oh goodness, I have to update my trading expenses because I have incurred probably 400 or 500 more in expenses with especially this account. This straight to funded account was like 250 after the discount, and I bought some of those evals. So I apologize. I have to update that. I'll try to get that done next week. Also, there we have the banner about 80% off for Apex. Just a reminder that's going on until the 24th. So thanks for using code BCT. I appreciate that very much. Again, the affiliates does help the channel a little bit. The Take Profit Trader is, in my opinion, one of the best deals on the market right now. That 40% off, no activation fees. So you get a 50K account for $100 basically. You pass it, you have a funded account. I love that. I really like that. I probably should buy a few more, but I want to get the ones passed, these evals passed before I buy another round. So but anyway, that's where we're at. Again, thanks. I appreciate you guys. Hope you had a great week. I had a good week. I feel good. And it just feels good to go into a Friday on a 4-day green streak. So hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back at it next week. And until next time, take care and so long.